Hello, everyone, and we are back for another edition of the Bleed Los Podcast, Carne Asada edition. We have so much to discuss. We just wrapped up the Marlins series, and we are the first to get to 25 wins. Kershaw is on the brink of return, and Shohei keeps doing Shohei things. All that and more coming up next.
It's time for the Bleed Los Podcast.
What's going on, everyone? I am Drea, joined again by Anthony and producer Roger. We're in the house to talk to you about all things Dodger baseball. First off, this episode is brought to you by DodgersBeat.com. Stay up to date and in the know with all things Dodger baseball. It's the most comprehensive coverage and your one stop for articles, interviews, contests, merch, and more. Never miss a beat and check out DodgersBeat.com. Hello, fellas. What is going on? How are we feeling after the Marlins series?
Feeling good. It's always great to, especially win a game after a comeback behind loss from the Marlins last night. Feeling confident. It does feel like we're falling apart a little bit. A lot of injuries started to hit. So just kind of hoping we all get it together back sooner or later.
For sure. How you doing, Raj?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, what Anthony said, good couple of wins, but kind of, a little concerning, right, with a couple of injuries again popping up. So hopefully those things are nothing serious and, continue going on.
Yeah, we heard from Roberts that he said Edman might be kind of gone for just a little while longer. I was a little bit concerned about that earlier this week, but still hopeful. But I think he used the words that he's unlikely to return, and the injury to his ankle is slow moving. So how concerned are we for Edman? And do you think he'll be back next week or the week after?
I'm kind of hoping he's back the week after. If it's slow moving, I just don't want him to push it and play on it, and it just lingers on for the rest of the season. I know Will Smith tends to do that a lot. So I just kind of want these guys to if they need to take a week or two off, just take a week or two off. There's no need to rush it, especially with guys like Kim stepping up. It's kind of exciting to see him play. So, if they need time to heal up, it's fine. Just go heal up.
Yeah. So is this? I'd heard that he wasn't going to play in Arizona, right, because of the turf. So is it still probably a couple more days after that? Yeah, it's fine, right? But I know, right now, you mentioned, it was Teoscar going out, and you have a couple guys that are out, or a couple guys that aren't exactly producing at the plate, right? We're still with Conforto and Muncies, so you're kind of missing that bat. So, but you get to totally get him healed, get him 100% before he's back out there. You don't want this to linger on throughout the season. So, kind of once he's ready to go, and then that's time to bring him back.
I totally agree. And I think that if it's going to happen, if there's going to be injuries, let's get them out of the way now. And that obviously doesn't guarantee that there won't be injuries at the end of the season. But I feel like we can afford it with the depth that we have, even though it gets a little unnerving to lose both Teo and Edman at the same time. But we have to talk about Hyeseong Kim. He was a stud this week, and I am loving watching him. It seems like the entire club is embracing him and enjoying his presence. And the guy is just a speedster. And I'm loving it. What are you guys thinking of our player of the week, in my opinion?
Yeah. Well, the talk online is that he's Ohtani's little brother, the way he kind of treats him. It's very little brother-esque. Ohtani being a veteran, being in the league for so many years now. So it's actually he brings I don't know how to explain it, but a different element to the Dodgers with his speed. It reminds me a little bit when we first traded for Trey Turner, and he was running around the bases. And Kim he's very fast. That I think it was Ohtani. Yeah, it was Ohtani's hit into right field, and before the outfielder even fielded the ball, Kim was already rounding third. That's how fast he is. So it's exciting to see him run and do his thing, and we'll see what he does. He's going to be with the team for a little bit, and hopefully just keeps it up.
Totally agree.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think, I don't know how long Teoscar is going to be sidelined. But at that, when I heard he was going to be hurt, I definitely thought, you know what, even if Edman would come back next week, there was still going to be a spot for Kim. But I mean, the way he's playing now, it's like it's going to be like, you can't send this guy back, right? The way he's playing now, I mean, in his first 3 games, right, he came in that one game, in the ninth, but his first 3 games, he has 12 at bats, he's hitting .417, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases already, and he's OPSing over 800. So a hot start for him. I'm not expecting him to play like this, but if he does, hey, all the better, right? I mean, I don't expect him to keep this hot streak going, obviously, throughout the year. But if this is what he is, hey, I'm all for it. There's no way like you can send him down. But like Anthony was saying, like he adds that extra element of speed that the Dodgers haven't had in any situation, whether he's in the game or not. He can come off the bench. You put him in pinch runner. You can create something now, something different, and just anytime if he's in the lineup, he gets on, hit, walk, whatever. Easily he can be on second, right? Get on third, and then now it changes the dynamic of the game, right? When if he's on, like I said, he gets to second, sac fly, could get third, and then even another sac fly, and he's home. You scored a run, just in with small ball essentially. So very exciting to see him, and I just look forward to continue to seeing what he's going to do out there.
Yeah, he is fearless. I think that when I see him play, it doesn't seem like he, doesn't want to hold back at all. And I love that. So I don't see how you can send a player like that down, especially right now when we could use, him in the lineup and he's producing. So I love it. He's got quads for days. I love his speed. I love his energy. And I think that he's just a really welcome piece to our lineup. And he plays really well off Pajes. I don't know if you guys saw today, but because there's there's language differences. And I think Miguel Rojas was getting in between and kind of working it out with them, like who's going to say what when they're going to catch the ball. And so you got Pajes with yo tengo, like I got it. And then you've got, and then I think you got Hyeseong Kim saying my ball, and they're working it out to make sure that they play well off each other. And I think it's adorable because Pajes has been looking so good for now. It's like turning into weeks. And his arm, wow, he's over. I believe he can throw over 90. Then he could be a pitcher. So I'm loving Pajes, and that is just a good combo right there. So good stuff.
Well, did you see that play in the ninth today? I mean, it's 10. I think it was 10-0 right at that time, right. And it was a sac fly. I mean, meaningless run. But Pajes goes ahead and like guns it into play, makes it a close play at the plate. They almost got him. Like I said, meaningless run. Most guys probably just catch it, whatever, throw it back in. I mean, no need to do anything else. But I mean, he could have gotten him out.
Yeah.
It took a really good slide for him to score. Slide's a little different. Maybe he's out. But like I said, he's showing off that, and he has a cannon. He has a cannon out there, and he's kind of shown it already a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to get in guys' heads though, because then how when they used to say Mookie played right field, don't run on Mookie because he will get you out. And I think that Pajes is making a case for himself to really be a strong contender for right field, at least while Teo's gone. Hopefully they say that Teo will be back soon. I believe they said he had a grade 1 adductor strain, but that is tricky because you really don't know if that's going to be 2 weeks, if it's going to be longer. And the worst thing is that he could re-injure it. So I'm thinking the same thing, keep him rested for a little bit, but it also hurts to lose his bat in the lineup because he was producing really well in the early part of the season. So a little, iffy there. And I think we do have another injury, Evan Phillips. Yes. Am I right? So
yeah. Today he went on the IL with just soreness, right, on his forearm.
My favorite words: forearm discomfort.
Forearm discomfort. Okay. Yeah. So he was another piece that I was like, oh, don't want to lose him either. But at the same time, the Dodgers have proven time and time again that they can, take on injury and still make it work, and I think we'll be fine. I also think that it's going to be good because in about 2 weeks' time, it's looking like Kershaw is going to be likely to come back or potentially come back. I think he's got one more start. And I think he just did one, was it 6?
He went 6. He went 6 hitless in the
Yes.
Arizona League. So, a bunch of young kids he's facing, but like we mentioned before, it's not really the result you're looking for. Yeah, you want a good result, but you just want him to go out there, get his work in, do what he has to do, and come out injury-free. So it looks like, one more start, and then potentially he could come back. So it'll kind of, if there's, they do have that need in that rotation. So it looks like they can slot him right in there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think also too with Snell and Glasnow out for just a little while longer. I heard they were going to start playing catch soon, or perhaps get geared up, but I'm not real sure what that means as far as them coming back. So we shall see. But today, if you looked at the NAC Sour game, it was only 2 pitchers, and I think we really needed that because our bullpen is taxed, and we really needed the length. And so NAC looked like he was out there to get it done, and Sour has shown, I think, two good outings now where he has really he's been strong. So that was very exciting.
Yeah, the bullpen's getting taxed. It scares me in the long term, especially with so many months left to go in the season. But especially if Kershaw comes back and it fills in another rotation spot, and hopefully both Glasnow and Snell come back, it'll take the tax off the bullpen tremendously. Because I remember it last year. I think in that World Series podcast that Mookie had, the bullpen guys, at least, they said they'll complain about it in April and May usually, because this is the early start of the year. But they understand when it's time to get to work, like in September and October, that they'll do whatever it takes, basically. So I'm pretty sure those guys are probably complaining about it now, but in the long run, if we're playing deep into October, there's no complaints at that point.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you mentioned Matt Sauer.
Yeah.
4 innings today after Landon Knack goes 5 scoreless, Matt Sauer goes 4 scoreless. I mean, he did it again. A couple weeks ago, he did the same thing in LA. I mean, saving that bullpen again, right? Because if you remember also too, this series they're moving up Roki. They're moving him up, not Yamamoto. They're moving him up to the first game in Arizona. So you didn't want to get into that bullpen, continue to use those arms, and he basically reset the bullpen. So they're good to go going into Arizona, big 4-game set. So you want to have your arms fresh in Arizona. And Matt Sauer again, he's definitely come to do what he had to do, and he's definitely earned the those flowers, right? You got to give him his flowers for stepping up.
I love when they do, because I was, cringing and squirming watching Yoendrys Gomez come out, and I believe he now is a DFA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he got DFA.
Yeah, it was hard to watch him. I think in just he pitched just over 1 inning, total almost 2 innings, and how many runs did he give up? And so that was not pretty. The first one I thought, okay, maybe bad luck, but the second, so I don't really I don't miss that. And I think we also saw JP Fireeisen out there again, but he got optioned back down. So right now, I'm just wondering when we're going to see Kopech again. Do you guys know when he's coming back, or are we just waiting a little while longer for him?
I think he's close to either doing a rehab or something. I believe he went to Arizona. Yeah. And so, I mean, I saw him on the field about 2 weeks ago, just playing, toss. So he's ramping up. He should be coming back soon, around his 60-day IL stint is over as well. So they did put him on 60-day IL. So he should be coming back soon enough. So he's one arm coming back to that bullpen. Hopefully, if he's back by June, I think it's going to really start helping out that bullpen.
Definitely. I think that's going to be fun to see. But the other pitcher that I just wanted to touch on a little bit is Gonsolin. He's come out twice now, and I think his strikeout numbers are what's really impressive. So in just 2 outings and 11 innings, he already has 17 Ks. And that's 2 walks in the last outing, 8 Ks in the last outing, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, and 5 innings pitched. So I'm liking the Catman. I'm happy he's in our rotation. What did he look like to you guys? I think that, that's a solid piece that we needed, and we weren't sure how he was going to look coming back from Tommy John.
He looks good out there. Maybe it's the haircut, maybe because he just shaved it all off. It's like finally can think and breathe. But yeah, he's looked really good. I like Gonsolin starts cat day, as we say it here at the house. But yeah, I always felt like he was always a reliable fifth option in this rotation, regardless of prior to the injury. So it's always good to have him just out there. Same with him and May coming up at the same time. It's kind of weird to see where they both are now. When we first saw them, when they first made their debut, comparatively to now, they're both very confident in who they are as players. Gonsolin especially, and so I'm just excited to see if he can keep this going. And hopefully he can.
Definitely. I think he's exciting, and so we obviously have the best in the league right now as far as pitching in Yamamoto, and Roki seems to be kind of getting better with each start, or kind of getting a little more confidence. So we have the staff to really get it done, but just praying for no more injuries and nothing to get any worse. But on the flip side of position players, looks like Ohtani is just a tick better than he was a year ago at this time. He already, and the only one in MLB, he has 10 home runs and 10 stolen bases. So he's doing those double digits again. And he had a triple. Go ahead.
Well, no, he's supposed to actually not run as much this year, right? Because, he hasn't started pitching, but because of the pitching, they said he's probably not going to run as much since I guess he's not pitching yet, right? He's able to run, but I mean, I still expect him probably to have 30 steals at least.
Yeah.
Do they scare you though when he does those steals?
Yes. Terrified.
Nervous and think of the
just because of that slide, kind of, he has that tendency to put that arm and kind of drag it. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to see that happen again. So, and he had been practicing kind of just having that arm up. So as long as he's got his slide down, I'm okay with him stealing bases.
Yeah, I remember seeing those clips of him in spring training when they were practicing his new slide, but when it's in the game, it's just instinctual. He just goes back to whatever he's comfortable doing. I don't blame him either, but yeah, every time I see him go down the slide, I get a little bit nervous, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. So I try not to, because I don't want to manifest it, but definitely want our Shohei to stay okay, because I mean, he's just been incredible this season, and I wasn't sure what this season was going to look like, but he still is getting it done. And I mean, how could he not? He's the best athlete on earth and our unicorn, and I'm so happy. But we have another near unicorn, Freddie Freeman. He's having his best start as a Dodger. So his numbers look incredible. He had a triple today. I think he even hit the 350 mark this week for home runs, career home runs.
Yeah.
Just an absolute model of consistency. I mean, we don't talk enough about him, because I mean, he just goes, like I said last show, he just gets it done, and you just come to expect that. But the numbers he has right now are putting him in the MVP talk. He's gonna inch up there if he keeps this up. So 3 for 4 today, batting .362, and 1 triple, 7 doubles, and 28 RBIs, and an OPS of 1.148. So what are we thinking about Freddie Freeman?
It leaves you speechless, because this is year 16 for him. I remember seeing this post before he exploded, obviously today, he's kind of raking for year 16. And the funny thing is, the only reason he's a Dodger is because Atlanta had reservations about him later stage in his career, towards these quote unquote later stages these years. So it's just, I don't know what to say about it, because it's kind of stunning that he still basically looks like he was when he was a young Brave, in his early 20s. It's kind of amazing. It's amazing to see, basically. So I'm just forever grateful that Atlanta decided to let him walk, basically, essentially, to us.
Right?
I mean, Freeman is just, he's a natural hitter, right? He's one of those guys that's just a natural hitter. You go back, guys like Tony Gwynn, right? That just were natural, nice, nice left-handed swings. So he's that type of hitter. So he's going to hit, when he's 35, 36, 37, he's going to hit, because he knows how to hit. So, just putting up those numbers, the home run numbers, stuff like that is You don't know if he's going to continue to do that, but I mean, 350 in a career is not bad, right? He gets to 400. Unlikely he gets to 500, but I mean, we've already been saying he's destined for the Hall of Fame, and he just continues to put up numbers, year in and year out. He's just that model of consistency. Kind of when you talk about players, like, right, oh, this guy's hot, you kind of never really mention Freddie because he's always doing it. Freddie's just like always doing it. He's always putting up numbers. He's always helping the team do something. So it's great to see Freddie, and I just love seeing him continue to excel, on this team.
I agree. I mean, it just makes us really think, like, how could he? I know he was a Brave for so many years, but how can he not go into the Hall of Fame as a Dodger when he's putting up just these memorable moments year after year as a Dodger? It just, I can't imagine. So when that time comes, I can only see him with that Dodger hat on. And we do have to start a fund to get flowers and a fruit basket to the Atlanta Braves every year, because how do you give up Freddie Freeman? I mean, no knock on Matt Olson, but my God, I mean, whichever team has Freddie Freeman, it's like, up there with it. He's an MVP. That's it. And we have 3 of those. We have Hall of Famers. I mean, it's an abundance of riches on the Dodgers. So I just feel lucky every single day that we have him. So I think we're very, very fortunate. But we also had some good news from someone who had been struggling and got called up due to injury. We saw Outman have a 3-run home run today. And I was a little concerned about him during yesterday because we had, of course, we got walked off by the Marlins, which wasn't fun. And I don't think he did too well. I still think maybe he was in his head. And we all know what Outman can do. We saw what he did when he came up in his early, 2 years ago as a new rookie. But he just seemed like he just was too much in his head, or something was going on. But I really hope this is the beginning of Outman getting, right back on track. What did you guys think?
Yeah, hopefully the home run today helps with his confidence. I just feel like he's always a confidence issue, especially in the plate for most of these players. It's just confidence. Like, if you get down on yourself, you're pretty down on yourself. With him, it's always going to be his bat when it comes up to here in the major league. Sort of how, like, for Bobby Miller, it's always going to be, can he control the walks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. It helps we were playing Miami, but it also doesn't help that the game prior he struck out multiple times. So hopefully it's just like a building block for him, and just takes it one game at a time, and doesn't have to put that pressure on himself to exceed. There's a bunch of other guys on this team that are all-stars. Kind of just fit in your role and try to do your best you can to your ability. Kind of like what Gavin Lux said last year. He just wanted to get on base for Shohei, basically. That was the mindset he had in the playoffs and stuff like that. So as long as you're just going out there and just trying your best, and like Gavin Lux said, just getting on base and doing all the little things correctly, it's all that matters to me, basically.
Right.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Alman is just cutting down on those strikeouts, because he'll strike out multiple times in a game, 2-3 times in a game. But, we'll see, when he get a hold of one like today, he hits that big home run. His defense, he's above average on defense, so he can fit right in there, especially right now with Teo out. You have Outman in center. The alignment's pretty good. Outman in center, you have Paez in right, and then you have Conforto on left. Yeah, like Anthony's saying, he just needs to go out there and kind of just get his hits, get his knocks where he can, and cut down on those strikeouts, and I think he'll be fine. We don't know. He has to take this as, he doesn't know what's going to happen right in a week or two when these guys start coming back. But, right now, just go out there and produce, increase your value, right? If they do end up trading him, right, just increase your value, kind of show that, you belong in the show, right? And here's your time to kind of prove that and show what you got.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right. Going back to Lux, because I know there was a debate on should we have kept Lux? Should we trade him? Kind of like people had mixed feelings on him, and he's over with the Reds right now. And other day, I think he said something about this was the most fun he's ever had coming to a ballpark or coming to work. Can't remember what the exact quote was. And I didn't really see too much pushback online on that, but I thought, is that a knock on the Dodgers? Is that something like he wasn't having fun with us, or what was that? So I don't know. I mean, I've always liked Gavin Lux, but maybe was it just the pressure was too high? Because obviously playing in LA, there's pressure to win, and maybe it gets in people's heads. I wasn't sure how to interpret that. So kind
For
of.
me, I took it as more of the pressure probably just got to him. He probably a lot of these guys are on social media. They read all the comments, all the tweets, all the stuff that people leave. So it probably just ended up just getting to him. I don't think it's like anything with like the Dodgers organization or like the players in there. I think it's just like all the outside noise was starting to like affect them a little bit mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like look into it that much either. But yeah, it's probably it has to do with the pressure, right? LA, biggest market, right? And going back with Lux, I mean, he was top pick, top prospect coming up, through the system. So there was pressure on him when it kind of came in. But now even, that pressure, it was still less, but the people were still looking for him to produce last year. He started slow, but he ended up really good. And he's kind of carried that over into Cincinnati right now. So, I mean, props for him. He's going out there with, a ton of less pressure now, right? For him he just has to play his game. Like we were saying with Outman, just go out there, play your game, do your thing. And I think everything will fall into place. So, good for him that, he's out there and he's doing really good in Cincinnati. So, best to him.
I agree. No, and I always want to support former Dodgers, even if they're on other teams. There's always varying reasons why they end up on, whether they be trades or free agency or whatever it might be. But I always look in on, Walker Buehler or Cody Bellinger or Corey Seager, and I always like to see them succeed. And Cody Bellinger was doing the Lord's work today. He got a home run against the Padres, and that game went into kind of extra innings like we did last night. And ultimately, I believe the Padres fell to the Yankees today. So that put a little bit more of a gap between the NL West. I think now I want to say it's like we're a game above the Padres, but I also think the Giants won. So it's, again, like it's been every week. We're still neck and neck and neck with those teams. And the next one, or the first one we're playing from the NL West outside of the Rockies, is going to be the next series. So we are going to play. Roger, correct me. It's 4 games against the
D-backs.
Yeah, so that's going to start, and we don't have a day off until Monday, right? So that's going to be interesting. Corbin Carroll is hot right now. I think he is, well, as of today, he has the most triples, but I believe I think Shohei just tied him today. So there's a 4-way race for the most triples. But Corbin Carroll's at the top of the list. So the series is going to be a good series. And so looking forward to that one. I don't know about the Padres. They scare me like they do every year. But that's also coming up soon too. So.
Yeah. Well, the Padres, I think, are in June, but I mean, the D-backs, I can't remember there was a pitcher or player there that kind of mentioned in the offseason, like, we're not really afraid of the Dodgers. I think we match up pretty well with them. So be interesting to see. I mean, 4-game set, they're gonna bring it. Eduardo Rodriguez starts on Friday. If you remember him, he's the one that vetoed the trade when the Dodgers traded for him a couple of seasons ago from Detroit. So he goes on Friday. So so they're gonna see Corbin Burns on Saturday, and then Zach Gallen on Sunday. So they got their pitching lined up. So should be a good series. I'm still hoping Dodgers to get 3 out of 4, but I think at minimum they got to kind of get that split there.
They have to. And isn't it Yamamoto is going to pitch first for us? Is that correct?
Yeah, he goes on Thursday, and then Roki, and then May, and then TBD. Right now it shows it's TBD on Sunday.
So that's going to be interesting, because I know that they know us well, we know them well. So those are the matchups that at the end of it, when it all shakes out in May and June, we're really going to kind of have a better idea of where we stand and how who's really going to end up on top.
But like I mentioned, though, keep in mind though, this is also with like Roki and Yamamoto, they're moved up a day. So normally they've been going on a week. You'd have Roki on Sunday, or was it Sunday? On Saturday, and you'd have Yamamoto on Friday.
Okay.
So they're going to be moved up one day this turnaround. So we'll see how they do. We'll see if that one day doesn't affect them too much. So they're kind of trying to get them back in kind of a more, I guess, normal baseball rotation, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. That scares me a little bit because I want Yamamoto to keep on performing like he's performing. And so we'll kind of see how this shakes out. But after the Yankee series last year, when he pitched all those innings, he wasn't okay for just a little while. So whatever has been working for him has been producing results. So just kind of sending him the good vibes because he's amazing. And I want him to stay that way because he's pretty much unhittable when he's on. So that's kind of super exciting. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun week. Do we have any of our predictions that we think? I think that I'm with you, Roger. I think it's going to be a split. I would love to get 3 or 4 of that. What do you think, Anthony?
I'm gonna go split too. I think the Diamondbacks, it's just like a respectable opponent, especially with guys like Carroll and Marte that can like change the game instantly, and like the unknowns of like how Roki reacts to pitching on 5 days compared to 6.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a TBD on the 4th game, so I'm gonna go 2-2. We'll split them.
Mm-hmm. They're scrappy. They're not afraid to run.
Yeah.
Their own base.
I still think they get 3. But like I said, minimum they got to split. But I'm confident that they could get 3 out there. I think, and they just played the Mets as well too, so they're coming off a pretty tough series for them. So they did the Mets. So, but it's you're gonna start, like you said, we're gonna start seeing some of these NL West opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Starting now, and then the Padres are coming soon, Giants. So this is kind of where we're going to kind of see how they're matching up against these other teams. I mean, because when you look back, I think I mentioned this before, when they played the Cubs in Tokyo, I think the Dodgers just looked completely like over, like they just outmatched them, and they were just so much the better team. But then when they played them now in the States, the Cubs just like looked really good. Like they did not look like the team that was in Tokyo. So a lot of things can happen, from a couple weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how these first rounds of matchups go, if one team has an advantage or they're split, pretty even. So we'll see.
I agree. Those teams that as I keep, track of the other teams as well, not just Dodger baseball. And there's some really good players on some of these teams that we have, for the remaining season. I'm wowed by them. I'm not one of those people that just hates on people just to hate, unless it's Machado. I don't feel everyone else. I definitely have a very healthy respect for some of the players that we're about to see because they are, they're studs. They're amazing. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think we won the last 4 series, 4 straight. So we're coming off a good run, even with all the injuries, but it's not like the other teams don't have their ups and downs as well. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But some interesting things coming up in the near future. I don't know if you guys heard, but MLB announced in the last day or so that there's going to be something added to the 2026 season. It's called the True Home Run Stat. So right now we just have either you have a home run or you don't. But in the 2026 season, they are going to, via StatCast, track balls that clear at least half of all major league stadiums. So if you hit a home run and it is considered a home run in more than half of all of the team's stadiums, it gets called a true home run, not just a home run. And players will have 2 separate home run totals. I thought this was a little odd when I heard it, and it's gonna take me a minute to get used to it. So I don't know what you guys think of that. True home runs.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because like the immediate thought was Yankee Stadium, that short porch, because like all the fly balls are basically home runs if you hit it to right field. It just feels like it's another stat like where no one's really gonna pay attention to it, because if it's a home run, it's a home run. Like it doesn't matter if Ohtani hits it like outside the stadium or like if it barely clears the wall, like it's a home run. Like once we know it's a home run, we moved on to the next batter basically. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see it, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like, is it a home run in the stadium that you're in? Yes, right. So it's a home run. So why does it matter if it's a true home run or not? Right? It's a home run. Like, I mean, unless they were gonna say like, oh, you know what, that didn't go far enough to be considered a home run in more than half the stadium, so we're gonna call that a double, right?
Yeah.
Unless they did something weird like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's a home run, so to me, it's like, I think sometimes they overanalyze things and things way too much.
Is that just like creating something just to create something because they don't know what to do with themselves, like just to create another stat line? It's odd, but I mean, the question is then, is Shohei he's still going to have the same home run total because look at how far his go, right? So it's just going to be his true home run stat will be his regular home run.
I mean, is your home run stat changed? Like, say you hit 20 home runs, but 10 of those didn't pass the home run mark. So do you only have 10 home runs and like 10 true home? Like I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's odd.
You know what I think it is? So there's a Twitter account where it says, "Would it be a home run?" And like it measures like different stadiums. Like, would it be a home run in this stadium? Would it be a home run in that stadium? So maybe that's what like MLB. Someone in MLB must have saw it. Like, oh, this like account's very popular because I follow it too sometimes, and like especially like some like wall grazers we have. Or like where they ended like the warning track. I'm like, I want to see if that would have been a home run, like at Dodger Stadium if we're playing somewhere else. And sure enough, it would have been. But so maybe they saw like the popularity of that, but like it's kind of such a niche thing that like it only like makes sense like on Twitter. I don't know, like are we gonna have like Hall of Fame debates? Like, well, this guy had like 300 true home runs and like 200 of them weren't true home runs. I'm like, what are we doing here exactly?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't get it. Like, okay, I get it. You can say like, oh yeah, he hit a home run in, where the Astros. I don't know what the Astros stadium's called anymore, but where the Astros play, right? He hit a home run there over left field, but that wouldn't have been a home run at Dodger Stadium, or that wouldn't have been a home run at wherever. Like, okay, but you're not playing there. You're playing the game in Houston, so it's a home run. So. Like I said, it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, maybe it's cool, I guess, if you want to go. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't have been a home run in this park. But again, they're not playing there; they're playing in that park. So
I feel like it's going into like what people would say when we got our 2020 ring, like Mickey Mouse. Like it's not a real ring. It's a Mickey Mouse, but it's real because everybody played and we all did the same amount of games and. That was the conditions that we were given. The Dodgers didn't create that. It's a real ring. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like, what do you even call a not true home run? What do you call it? Like, it's not real. Like, it exists. It's a home run. So I just thought it was odd. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it, which I guess I will eventually. But I thought it was just bizarre. But that's not. Maybe I was thinking it counts into like MVP totals. You know how when sometimes there's a neck and neck race for MVP, and maybe they say, okay, well, this one ties it because these were true home runs. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. But to kind of put that in perspective with where the early NL MVP rankings are, we have got Shohei on the list. What do you think? Do you think he's in the top 5? Where do you think that he ranks right now? This was released today, unless you actually saw it.
Hopefully in the top 3.
He's in the top 3.
Top 3?
Okay. Yeah.
Is it optimistic to say 1?
I'm playing trivia with you. Yeah.
He's 1?
No,
he's not 1. It's like probably 3, right?
He's 3.
Okay. I'm surprised because I haven't really seen or heard a lot of Shohei MVP talk right now. Obviously it's early. He kind of got off to a slow start, not huge in RBI, stuff like that. And, they've been talking about other guys like, Pete Alonso kind of up there. Who else was there? I don't know if Soto was in there, but
he's not.
I think Tatis was in there.
Tatis, yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, I mean, Shohei is going to be right up there if he's not MVP again. And we mentioned, he's the first guy, 10 steals, 10 home runs. Nobody else is doing that.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're going to continue to see with Shohei. and he's going to be right up there. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, we know he's the best player in baseball, but I'd imagine some people are gonna kind of get tired of it. Oh, let's give him the MVP again, right? Let's give him the MVP again.
Yeah, voter fatigue.
So so they're gonna get tired of it eventually, right? I mean, what does Shohei have to do to continue to be like, yeah, he's the best player, he should be the MVP? But I mean, I'd imagine that some people are probably gonna get tired and be like, oh, you know what? Let's give it to Tatis because he had a great year this year. Let's get it to Pete Alonso because he had a great year. From signing late and, showing now his value. So, but, at the end of the day, like you said, Shohei's going to be up there with probably the most home runs, probably right up there on steals. So it's hard to argue that point. Like, he shouldn't be the MVP.
I mean, he's always going to be the MVP as far as engagement and getting, people's clicks on MLB. And people were analyzing that earlier today when I was looking at, why did they post more Shohei? People were asking, why didn't they post Soto when they did the same thing on this particular day? And the reality of it is you can clearly see in the numbers, Shohei gets the most attention, and this is global. So that is one, reason to say, why does MLB post? Because Shohei is an attention getter. People want to read about Shohei. They want to see him. But you are absolutely right about the first two, at least in the early rankings for MLB. Tatis is number 1 right now in early rankings for NL MVP, possible. And number 2 is Pete Alonso. Shohei being number 3. So we'll see how it goes. This is obviously not how it's going to end, but that's where we're at this point. So interesting stuff. And one of the reasons Shohei is so popular, one thing that I noticed, I don't know if you guys saw this, I think that you did, Roger, this is amazing. We were talking recently about the WWE belts, right? Those famous belts, and that we saw them in the parade, and people were getting them signed at all the Dodger signings, and they're quite expensive. But there is one that trumps all in terms of price. And some lucky and rich fan out there bought a $50,000 Shohei Ohtani Los Angeles Dodgers autographed, Fanatics, authentic, framed WWE MLB replica legacy title belt in a commemorative shadow box, and it's one of one.
That was a mouthful too there.
Literally, and I'm an English teacher, that's probably a paragraph. So I think, okay, we have it up to see. Check that thing out. And $50,000. So if you are the lucky purchaser of that, we would love to have you on the show and talk all about it. Please reach out to us. But what do you guys think of that amazing thing that was purchased?
And there's the one of one, the signature one of one.
This is like one of those things, like, if I ever won like the lottery, there wouldn't be signs of it, but like subtle stuff like this is what I would buy. Like this would be like purchase number 1. It wouldn't be like a house or a car. Like this is something that I would buy. Yeah, but it's like, it's ridiculous at just the amount of money, and someone actually bought it.
Because it was up, and we went to look at it. I thought it was going to be a couple of these, but it said one of one, and when we noticed, like, what, it's sold already. So
someone bought it.
Yeah, someone paid the $50,000. I hope they got that. I hope they use at least the free shipping coupon, right, to get the the free shipping on that. But yeah, I mean, you're a Dodger fan, you're a Shohei fan, that's a wrestling fan. That's I'd love to have that piece hanging here at my house. But yeah, like you said, like, hey, if you bought this, reach out to us. I'd love to talk to you guys about this. I mean, to me, it's very cool. Right? I know Anthony probably thinks very cool. This is very cool as well. So
yeah, I know the belt itself costs, well, if you were to buy it without the signature, it's like $700. So like, I'm trying to see like where does the rest of the money come from? Is the Ohtani signature just like worth that much? Basically?
That and it's a one of one.
Right?
It's a one of one. I mean, who else is going to say they got this? So it's interesting to, like we said, whoever bought this, what are they going to do with it? Is it going to hang in their house? Are they going to resell it or auction it? Something like that. How much would this go in an auction? If you put this up in an auction, how much would this go for? Would it surpass that $50,000?
That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, would it go past what his 50-50? What was his 50-50 ball? What did that auction for? Do we remember?
Didn't that go over $1 million?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's an investment, maybe, for someone. I don't know. That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, like I said, who bought it. I mean, it could have been like one of those auction sites, that bought it, and they plan to auction it off.
Wow.
So, I mean, if we can find out who bought it, that'd be kind of cool to actually see who has that.
I mean, it just really shows the Shohei effect because he is a moneymaker. He is, like I said, he's global. People want anything that has Shohei's name on it. They want to consume everything that is Shohei Ohtani. That is what makes him unique. That's what makes him the unicorn, because there's really no one that can compare to that sort of pull. Just incredible. I'm not like you guys are big wrestling fans, and I'm kind of slowly kind of inching my way in there, but that is something that is gorgeous. So who wouldn't want to have that? I would love it if I was rich. But there is some other fun stuff. I think we're going to talk about the jersey that we want to give away. So that's still up, if I'm not mistaken. Roger, how can our listeners and our audience get the jerseys? I think we were trying to promote that this week.
Yeah, we have a Shohei Ohtani jersey. Fortunately, it's not signed. I mean, it'd be up to you if you can go ahead and get that signed. But it's a cool Dodger Shohei jersey. We're trying to give it away. We said when we got to 15,000, we'd kind of get all our subscribers in to get it, and I just want a way to find one of our subscribers. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the page, and then go ahead and comment like an IG name or a Twitter X name. That way we can reach out to you. So I'm gonna collect those of the people that do that follow the instructions, right? Do that, leave their name, leave their username for those accounts. And then we'll do a drawing, and then we'll go ahead and contact you, and we'll send that out to you. So pretty easy to get in on this. We've surpassed the 15,000, but continue to grow, and just like I said, comment your username on X or IG. That way we can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. So definitely do that, because we really do appreciate all of our viewers and the listeners to this show. And we want to make sure that we give back. And I'm sure there'll be other future giveaways as the channel keeps growing as well. So that is all I have, unless there's something else you guys want to throw in. I am good for the night. Is there anything else that you guys want to say for this coming week?
Yes, actually. This is gonna air before Mother's Day, and my mom watches this, so like, hi Mom, happy Mother's Day, happy early Mother's Day to you. So yeah, that's my last say here.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So have a good day, and next week the Dodgers are back, and look forward to being back at the stadium next week.
Yeah, me too. Make my debut next week.
Yeah, no, I'm going to piggyback that, because if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be like the extreme Dodger fan I am today. She and we watch a lot of games together. We talk Dodger baseball, text constantly about it. And she was a big influencer of my life, becoming a Dodger fan. So Mom, you are the best, and I love you. And thank you for creating this incredible world of Dodger fandom that I have fallen into. But that is a really good way to end the show. So I was going to kind of close it up, but we are going to just make sure that we see you next week. So make sure to definitely, like Roger said, comment, and please include your handle for X Twitter or Instagram so we can get a hold of you. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, so we can definitely grow the channel and make sure we keep giving back to you guys. Don't forget to check out DodgersBeat.com so you can check out all post and pregame pressers, interviews, locker room content, you name it. We've got our handles on the screen right below our names. You can find me at Ravine Queen 1958 on Instagram. You can find Anthony at Instagram at Anthony Acosta _, and you can find Roger on X at Los Royers. And that will do it for us. This episode was brought to you by DodgersBeat.com. So until next time, let's go Dodgers.
Dodgers.